Chapter 5, The Ghost File. The rain had finally stopped, leaving the streets slick and steaming under the half-hearted glare of the morning sun. Tessa Monroe moved quickly through the back alleys, head low, shoulders hunched like everyone else. By the time the grid noticed anomalies, it was usually too late. But she wasn't about to give them a head start. She reached her secondary safe house just before the next compliance patrol swept the sector. Small. Isolated. Forgettable. Perfect. Inside, the room smelled of cold metal and dust. Stacks of scavenged tech lined the walls, stripped-down laptops, cracked drives, hardware from before behavioral scoring became embedded in every screen and device. Tessa sealed the door behind her, bolted it manually, and killed the room's power tap. The only electricity humming now came from her own shielded battery cells. She knelt at the base of a false wall panel and pulled out a battered case. Inside, an old air-gapped laptop, stored in an EMP-shielded sleeve. Old tech. Slow. Invisible. She powered it up. The cracked screen blinked alive, filling the dark with a pale, flickering light. Tessa started her search where she always did. In the places the system wanted everyone to forget. Archived news caches. Offline records. Fragmented backup nodes left abandoned after the grid centralized media flow. It took hours. Piece by piece, she assembled a ghost. Nathan Camble. 5 years ago, he wasn't a criminal. He was a rising star. Lead systems architect, tasked with designing scalable infrastructure for what was then simply called the Grid Initiative. A plan to unify critical services and public safety networks across the crumbling world. There were old video clips. Pixelated, low-res echoes of a different man. Clean-cut. Sharp-eyed. Speaking with a conviction Tessa rarely saw anymore. She watched him at a public summit, standing behind a podium draped in pre-grid banners. His voice echoed faintly from the tinny laptop speakers. Decentralized systems protect individual sovereignty. Central control invites corruption. We must build safeguards into every layer, or risk losing what little freedom we have left. Tessa leaned forward, heart pounding. This wasn't the man the propaganda showed during his downfall. This was someone who believed in protecting people. The story shifted sharply. Archived headlines scrolled across her screen. Grid architect arrested for system sabotage. Treason in the network, Nathan Camble indicted. Trial of the century, Camble's betrayal. But there was something odd. The trial coverage ended abruptly. No sentencing broadcast. No final verdict. Just silence. Nathan Camble had simply vanished from public view. Tessa rubbed her hands over her face. The pattern was familiar. She'd seen it before in the old Nexus files. When the system wanted a problem to disappear, it buried it deeper than memory. Nathan hadn't just been accused. He'd been erased. But why? What had he seen inside the grid that made him dangerous? And now, 5 years later, he was back. She flipped open her worn leather notebook and wrote his name carefully across a fresh page. Camble, Nathan, architect or arsonist? She underlined it twice. He had tried to warn them about centralization. And when he resisted, the grid had crucified him. Now he was walking the streets again, a ghost among the ruins he had once tried to save. But Tessa still didn't understand one thing. Why now? Why risk everything by coming back? What was he trying to do? Far across the city, Nathan Camble slipped through another maintenance tunnel, boots splashing in silent pools. He carried no electronics. No comms. Nothing traceable. Every night, a new sector. Every night, a new place to disappear. He didn't know anyone was following him yet. Didn't know that old memories were being dug up from shallow graves. He only knew that time was running out. And the virus, his silent army, was marching faster than even he could fully predict. In the safe house, Tessa leaned back against the wall, staring at the cracked ceiling. The pieces were there. She just hadn't seen how they fit together yet. But she would. She had to. Because if Nathan Camble was alive, if he was moving through the cracks of a city asleep at the wheel, then the real story hadn't ended 5 years ago. It was only just beginning.